Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here today to provide you with this much anticipated webinar that's going to teach you all about our Life Agents Wanted preset appointments opportunity that for the right life insurance agent at the right time can make a tremendous difference in regards to your income as we go into the second half of 2023 and beyond. My name is Javier Rodriguez. I've been with this company going on 20 years, actually 19 years now. And I can tell you that this is something that has changed my life for the better. And it's done the same for thousands and thousands of agents nationwide. And maybe this can do the same thing for you. I'm going to start by describing to you the different entities, because there's different entities involved and what entity brings to the table. And then I'm going to bring right back together with showing you the money making opportunity as well. And so first of all, let me just start by telling you a little bit about First Financial Security, or FFS for short. FFS is a financial services company, or an MGA, Master General Agency, based out of Atlanta, Georgia, Johns Creek to be more precise. Been in existence for almost 20 years now and deals with a lot of different companies. A lot of them you see them on the screen right now. And what this company does, it provides the back engine, if you would, to the operation that we've been running here for almost 2 decades now. They are the ones that maintain the appointments. They work with their carriers. They maintain the commissions. They process the business. They do everything. And just like the MGA or IMO you work with right now, they're the same thing. So I want to say there's anything extraordinarily good about them. There's nothing bad about them, but they're just like most other MGAs and IMOs. They have 2 divisions. One division, which we don't really run here, runs more of the friends and family marketing approach, if you would. Most of them are part-time and what have you. We don't do that. We run the specialized market side of the house, and I'll get into that here in 1 second. The second entity I want to bring up to you is it's an entity called For Our Kids, For Our Future, which is a nonprofit organization my wife and I funded many, many years ago that has changed the trajectory of our business and the trajectory of the agents that work with me, because this is not part of the MGA or IMO. This is just my own private nonprofit organization. We work with school districts and police departments and do anything from Thanksgiving dinner giveaways, sports equipment, donations. Our most popular thing we do in schools is something referred to or called the Life Changer of the Month Award. We work with principals. Principals nominate teachers they believe deserve to be recognized. And we give them gift cards, certificates, a tablet, and we present all of this during their staff meetings. We do backpack giveaways where we donate backpacks with school supplies to kids during the back to school season. And we even do what's called the Christmas wish list, where we go ahead and have the principals nominate 10 kids from their school going through some type of hardship, and we donate literally whatever they wish for on their list. And so this, again, allows us to continue our relationship with police, because they're there at everything we do, and also with the principals, which is the backbone of our campaign. We run very specialized and very lucrative markets and campaigns. I'm talking about police departments, fire departments, federal employees, and of course, teachers. 80% of what we do revolves around teachers and school districts, so our production follows very closely the school calendar as well. We leverage a lot of technology. One of the ones that we have is we have a proprietary system. Here you see a very simple beginning of a worksheet that's used in the back engine that has the name, email address, phone number, and literally every single thing of every piece of information for every teacher every principal in the state of California. If you follow this through, we know their district, we have their name of their school, their phone number, we have everything, email address. And if you notice, I'm going to zoom in on the second one here real quick. Let me see if I can get this going because it froze. Okay, if you see right here, it's a total of 8,317 principals that we are dealing with right now. Now, out of that, we probably deal with 500. There's no way in hell anybody can do everything, and we don't have the muscle, the people to go ahead and work with all these districts throughout the state of California. Now, we have a second database for the rest of the country that we only touch when we have well-established and proven agents that can actually help us with the business, because the last thing you want to do is ruin your name or run your name through the mud by taking on business you cannot handle. Now, what we do here, we work primarily with index-based products. We don't work with any, and I do mean any variable products. So you don't need a Series 6, 63, or any of that stuff if you have it. and you use it somewhere else, wonderful, but you won't need it with us. We do only index products. Primarily, we're talking about the IUL, or Index Universal Life, and annuities. And the reason we work with annuities so much is because teachers get to save in this product called the 403B or TSA, which is a tax filtered annuity. So eventually you will have to get appointed with our IUL carrier, one of our carriers at least, for the simple fact that everything has to be done, of course, in-house. If you are not familiar with either annuities or with IULs, you're not going to be too much of a help for us because we're not a school. We don't provide that. We're looking for people that we need to just simply fine tune, if you would, as to how we do business, and then simply put them to work if that everything else turns out to be okay. So again, if you're not familiar with annuities, but you are familiar with IULs, you just simply won't take on any of the annuity business. And that's fine. As long as you can help us close the IUL business, we'll be happy. The way we do it is very simple. We do nothing but we believe that the most efficient way to market is by targeting specific groups of people or employees. And for police officers, we do the roll calls. For teachers, we do staff meetings. Now, in the state of California, every school district has to have a staff meeting once a week, and they usually let the kids out early on that day, so we don't have to rush. As a matter of fact, our most recent one, and I'll walk you through our marketing campaign right now so that you understand the psychology of what it is that we are doing and how we get to where we are right now. My background is law enforcement, so I'm the one that works primarily with the law enforcement when it comes to doing the roll calls. You will never have to do a roll call. You will never have to do a staff meeting unless you want to. If you want to, then we'll put you into our training program. You have to be an observer a few times. You have to pass an audition, meaning an actual live one. And we'll show you how to do this. And so I'm the one that goes around and does all the staff meetings, most of the staff meetings, but all of the police roll calls. And again, this is really a great market because cops make the most, they save the most, and they make great candidates for the IUL. They don't get the 403B, they get a 457, which is a little different. And if you notice on the screen, I have that yellow piece of paper. Every officer has a yellow piece of paper. We'll come back to that right now. Those are our appointment. Those appointment cards can be worth literally anywhere from $900. They could be worth, the highest paid agent 2 weeks ago was $23,000 because it was a combination of an IUL and a rollover. So, how much you make depends on the quality of the lead, plus your own personal skills as well. And when it comes to police departments, we work with every single police department, especially here in Southern California as well. And I'll come back to that. But I want to walk you through how we open up the schools. Open up means the rainmakers, the people that actually get the actual staff meetings or the roll calls on the calendar. They're the ones that make the magic happen because the rest of it is just based on good mechanics. If you're a good closer, but you don't have any business to close, it's useless. And that's where we come in. So here, as you can see, the system sent me an email. It has me into the system. So I get an email like every principal gets an email. And so here, just call me Principal Rodriguez. That's my last name. And then it talks about how we are looking to donate 10 sets of sports equipment during the month of May. Click here if you want to reserve a set of the sports equipment for your school. But we make it very clear when they go online that we only donate this. At a staff meeting. So we do our staff meeting first, and then they go ahead and get the sports equipment. They don't want to do one, they don't get the other. Very, very simple. So this just launched because this is our May. This is our final month for schools in the LA Unified School District. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 staff meetings. Average staff meeting has around 20 teachers. So even though like the one we just had last Tuesday, it had 41. But on average, you'll see at least 20 teachers there. And then it's the numbers game. Out of 20, we might get 10 appointments. And out of 10, we might actually see 7. And out of those 7, we expect to close at least 6 minimum. Because for most of the time, you will go ahead and have everything you need to see what kind of an appointment you have coming up. This is me this past Tuesday at an auditorium during a staff meeting. Again, every Tuesday, LAUSD lets out early. And on the left-hand side, I don't know why, but on the left-hand side are the teachers. And then on the right-hand side are the other set of teachers. That was a total of, I believe, 41 as far as the teachers are concerned. And most of the information we present to them comes directly from the CalSTRS handbook. The most recent one is the 2022 version. So, we will train you on everything you need to know about CalSTRS and their pensions, and most importantly, how to transition to an IUL to supplement their income. Once we are done with the presentation, again, those little magic yellow pieces of paper come up, they fill it out. Here we were able to collect this one. And as you can see, they tell us everything we need to know. Their name, whether or not they're saving already. This person is saving $800,000 a month. Now, we're not going to take everything, all they save, and put it into an IUL. We don't do that. But we do want to see what they're doing. If they have a variable annuity, maybe they benefit from an index. As you can see, one of the options that they select is how to minimize or eliminate stock market risk, how to receive tax-free retirement income, life insurance you don't have to die to use, and then the last one doesn't really apply to us, but it's there. And so as you can see, we do Zoom presentations or Zoom appointments only. If they don't tell us when they want to meet, the system automatically sends them a text. And on that text message, it will go ahead and have them book the actual appointment. And then we go, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. So there's one. Here's the second one that we got from this very same meeting. It's called the Evergreen Elementary. Here's the third one. Again, gives us all the information we need. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So that's not too bad. And so now it's just a matter of us assigning those actual preset appointments to our closers. And that's where potentially you could come in if everything works out. It's not for everybody, and I'll get into that in just 1 second. So we have 9 this month. And so if you just simply do the math, let's just say we average 10. I mean, that's not bad. That's 90 appointments for the month. And this is the slow part of the year because teachers are hesitant to start sitting down for their future and retirement right before the summer break. But as you can see, the numbers don't lie. 11 of them went ahead and did that. Once we kick this in August, when schools come back into session, we average anywhere between 14 to 22 staff meetings a month. But we can only go as fast as we actually have qualified closers, because just the mere fact that you're licensed doesn't really mean anything. There's a lot more to it, which I'll get into in just 1 second. Okay, here's one more, and all the information is there. Again, the appointment is generated, it's scheduled, it's then assigned to a closer whose job then is to follow up, because half of the battle in making money with these good people is getting a hold of them, making sure that they answer the phone, they answer a text, they're caught up in their school work all day because they're teachers or a principal, even the principal made an appointment. And so we train you, and you will be receiving training on how to follow up with somebody and exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a IUL, it's going to be maybe an annuity rollover from a 403B or whatever the case might be. Then your job is to simply meet with them via Zoom. We do have some appointments that from time to time, some old school people want to meet in person. Unless we have somebody, we won't take that appointment. And so again, it's a geographic area where if you are in the greater LA area and you don't mind driving and you say you're open to that, bless your heart. We'll run it by you first. You don't have to take it. And we'll let you know. Usually it's older people that have a lot more money in their 403Bs or TSAs or annuities that want to get out of the whole variable game and go into an index. So it's a rollover. Pays very, very well. It's 100% up to you. But we advertise ourselves as only doing Zoom appointments. But even though we do that, every once in a while, somebody pops up and says, actually, no, I want to see somebody in person. And then we'll look for somebody local in that area. As far as our contracts, I want to tell you this right out of the gate. This is not going to be something that meets everyone's requirement. And I don't want to waste your time. And I certainly don't want to waste my time. What we are not going to be somebody's cake where they have their cake and need it too. People want high contracts and they still want to receive preset appointments and they don't want to pay for them. If that's you, this is not for you. We are looking for somebody who's already making money somewhere in life insurance, because that tells us you have recent experience. Products change all the time. Concepts are updated all the time. So what we're looking for somebody that tells us what they are willing and need to do. We're not captive. So if you want to keep writing with whoever you're writing with right now, bless your heart. We encourage you to keep doing that, because until we know what your closing ratio is with us, we're not going to overwhelm you with business. We're just not going to do it. We're not going to take a chance on you without knowing at least that you know what you are talking about. And so our contracts range from 72% all the way up to 90%. And what that simply represents is it depends on what you're looking to do. If you're looking to just simply write more business as you write business elsewhere, which is what you should do, well, then you're going to be closer to the lower scale that you see before you. We have some people that come and don't want to write any business anywhere else. So they intend to bring their own personal business here to the table. You can do that as well. If we give you a piece of business, we will go ahead and take a split. So that way you don't have to pay for the lead. I mean, if you have any clue what a good exclusive quality appointment costs nowadays, and I'm not talking about that crap that it just gets recycled over and over and over. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something like what you just saw right now. This is something that when you come into the appointment, you know that they're 56 years old. You know that they're saving 800, at least 800 already. You know they're in the red zone of retirement. You know they're going to be definitely looking to make sure that they are taken care of so when they retire, they can stay retired. They're looking for tax-free retirement income, which means either Roth or IUL, nothing else. And then on top of that, one life insurance they don't have to die to use. So unless you screw it up or they don't show up to the appointment, it's pretty much a done deal. That's how simple and how powerful all these are. I know that if I go through this and I find a 21-year-old, like this is 53-year-old, 49-year-old, 49-year-old, these are good stuff. But if I came across a 21-year-old, it's going to be tougher. They probably have other stuff in mind that they want to do with their money versus retirement. But these are really, really good. And if for whatever reason you see something you don't like, you just simply decline it and we issue it to somebody else. Very, very simple. So again, we do take a split on anything that we give you, and that way you don't have to come up with the money. Number one challenge for life insurance agents is not getting licensed, is not getting appointed, is not learning how IULs work, is finding business. That's where the magic is at. Okay, what good is it that you know how to close business if you don't have any business to run? Here, we're talking about you keep doing what you've been doing. We don't want your business from other places. Now, if you were to tell me, no, I'm looking to focus here and bring my other business here, then we are going to talk about a higher contract. You're not going to be at 72%. And on top of that, our split is reduced. Once you close 3 pieces of business and we're comfortable that you know what you're doing, and we know you're not going to close everything, but I will tell you this, that if you're not closing, we give you 3 and you close none, something's wrong. We've been doing this for almost 20 years. And we know exactly what a closing ratio should be for a new person, for a more seasoned pro, and so on. So we know that. And if you just simply say, no, our closing ratio should be 20%, we probably don't want you. Maybe that is your closing ratio, but we are looking for people that understand that we're fronting all of the money, all of the time, and all of the effort. And all you're getting is a preset appointment. We really want you to do your best to do that. One of the biggest challenges we have with agents that we work with right now is that a lot of them just don't give it the focus they should. They don't do the follow-up work, if you would, and it doesn't work out. And this ends up being a total waste of time for everybody, and we don't want that to be the case for anybody. So we do a split with you on the first 3, then we reduce that split. And then if you bring any business to the table, then you don't have to split anything. It's 100% your deal. We don't want to take anything from something you generated, and we can help you do that as well. Now, all business is done via Zoom using a 2-appointment approach, which most people do. So when we give you the appointment, your job is to, in some cases, and you saw it earlier when we asked them what time, they just put IDK, I don't know. Your job is, we reach out to them automatically, but your job is to also reach out to them, text them, call them, say, hi, my name is Joe. I'm calling you in regards to the financial strategy requested at the staff meeting the other day at Evergreen. And I just wanted to send you the link to schedule your webinar right now, please, because we're getting pretty busy. And that's it. Your job is to follow up with them. So once they book it, you keep it. The first appointment is super low key for them and super low key for you. It's just a matter of fact finding. That's all we're looking to do. So I just wanted to confirm your age. Also wanted to confirm whether or not you're doing anything outside of your pension at this time. Great. And what would you say are your top 3 concerns when it comes to retirement and saving for retirement? Great. Perfect. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this information. I'm going to put together a comprehensive report. We're going to meet with you again to present it to you and see what it is that we might be able to do for you. Fair enough? Perfect. What's a good day? I have tomorrow at 3 and tomorrow at 6 p.m. Let's just do 6 p.m. because at 3 you're still at school. Perfect. All right. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And then the next appointment. Well, first of all, nice seeing you again. I think I've got some great news that you're going to really like what I'm going to show you. I really think you're going to love this. And here we go. Remember you were talking about concerns of dying too soon? Here's the death benefit. And you were also wanting to know about life insurance you didn't have to die to use. Well, here it is, because with this one, in case of a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, you will be able to accelerate your benefit here blah, blah. And you guys know how to do that. And by the way, even though you might come with 1,000 years of experience, we have a one way of doing business that we will train you on. And then we're expecting you to do it that way with our appointments. And you do all your appointments however the hell you want to do it. But with ours, we want to do that. And everything is recorded on Zoom. So we want to make sure we have something to debrief on so that everybody can learn and become better as you progress down the road here as well. There is a 25% split on all appointments, like I said, that is reduced once you go ahead and show us that you know what you're doing. And by that, we're talking about your first 3 deals. And that applies to both IULs and annuities that we bring to you. If you bring business on your own, you shouldn't split it with anybody. I know how hard it is to get business, so we don't want to take a piece of the business. That's going to be your business to be able to do that as well. Now, along those lines, I'll just give you a very quick example of a 72% example that I'm referring to right here. And it doesn't take an Einstein to do the math here. Our goal is to, now again, we will not provide a goal as to how much business you want to close because that's based on your availability and most importantly, your availability to deliver. That's what so we're not throwing some pie in the sky. But we're saying that if you saw, we have 9 this month. We just did our first. We have 11 appointments to go through right now, 8 more staff meetings to go through. I mean, if we're comfortable with you and you're closing just 1 IUL a week and they're saving up $200 in premium a month, that's about $4,300 a month, just what I consider spare time because you're not leaving your home. You're not leaving your office. This is, if you do have an office, this is your rent plus office expenses and then some, or if you're working from home, then it's of course all profit as well. So I'm not going to get into this, but I just want to put things in perspective that we are talking. Now, for some people that might be saying, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Other people might be saying, no, that's not what I want to make. Then this is not for you. And that's okay too. I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't want to waste your time. And I certainly don't want to, waste my time because we have a lot of follow-ups to do just with the ones we did from this past Tuesday. But at the end of the day, we're not talking about annuities that if you do have experience in annuities that you know how they work, you know what a $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 rollover pays, it would work the exact same way as well. Now, due to the nature or sensitive nature of the market, especially the schools are no joke right now. We have to go through a little bit more of a background check. And not only that, but because you will be, in some instances, not to come and close them at the police stations, but if you want to be an observer, one day be a presenter, want to learn how to open up police stations in your neck of the wood, then yeah, you're going to have to go through a background check that you have to pay through. But the good news is that the only fee involved here, which you're not going to do anything right now, you're not going to pay. We don't even know if you're right for us or if we're right for you, but you have to become a formal member of the MGA, which is the FFS I described to you earlier, because that's who handles the back office, the commissions. That's where you track your pay. That's where you have your direct deposit coming from and all of that other stuff as well. This is an example of what that looks like. As you can see right here, this is basically a commission run from 2 weeks, from the 1st to the 12th. But yet, even so, I've been here, like I said, almost 20 years, so it's a little different. That's 2,035 commissions or lines of commissions, I should say, for those pay periods right there on anything from production, annuities, IULs, and so on. So when I say that you join to have access to the back office, that's what I'm talking about. Now, the good news is just a one-time $75 fee to cover not just the lifetime access to the platform, but most importantly, your background. If you know you have anything iffy in your background, do us all a favor. Don't join, don't apply. They will find it, especially when it comes to the police side of the house. They will find it. People forget they're on probation. People forget about this. They forget about that conviction. I'm telling you right now, there's no refunds. Once you pay for your actual background, the only thing that you're going to pay for beyond that, which you have to pay anyways, is your ongoing E&O fee, which you have to have regardless of whether you're working here or anywhere else. There's no monthly fee. There's nothing. We are forming what I call a class. I come from the military. I come from the police department. So I call it a class where we take a group of people and we put them through a specific training to get them certified for what we call the late summer kickoff, which is when we start going back to school in August. So you have to be certified by June, July. Background's done, and then we're off to the races. The only thing that can derail you is if you have a low closing ratio. And I would ask you, what would you consider? Because I get people asking me all the time, well, what are you looking for? I'm asking you. If somebody gives you the kind of appointments I just showed you, we just generated on Tuesday, you give them 3. How many would you want somebody to, if you're fronting the money on everything, how, 1? That's not acceptable for me. I'll tell you that right now, because they're telling you what they want. And so a lot of it has to do with that. You do have to do what we call an audition, which is very simple. We log in one-on-one via Zoom, and I'm going to play the role of the teacher, and you're going to be who you are. And then we just take it. We want to, the first appointment should never be more than 25 minutes max, because sometimes they do this during their free, or what we call, what they call their conference period, and they don't have an hour for you. So we just want to, again, establish some rapport, verify the facts that we have. I just want to verify how old you are today. I want to verify whether you smoke. Do you have any significant health challenges? Any medication that you take for anything whatsoever? This is 100% confidential, by the way. No. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm just gathering information. We're perfect. I have all the information I need to put together this for you. How's tomorrow at the same time? This is your conference period? Yes, perfect. And that's all there is to it. Again, if you do have a lot of experience with IULs, it will help you, but we still want you to follow our format, because we cannot take too much time from these people, or even the police officers. And I don't know why, but police officers love to meet at police stations. So maybe it won't be for you if you're not. We have agents that close in California from Florida. They close from Texas. They close from Arizona. And so what I'm saying is that you don't have to be there in person, but don't bite off more than you can chew. And what I mean is that if you cannot, and you don't want to, I don't blame people. You don't want to go drive to a school or a police station. Just don't take the appointment. It will say ahead of time, in person, big old red letters, because we don't get too many of those. And so therefore, if you somehow accidentally get one of those, kick it right back to us, and then we take it. The last thing that I mentioned to you that we're looking for, which is very difficult to find sometimes, are people with a lot of integrity, to not think you're going to be able to take business from here and shove it in another company where you don't have to split it. And we unfortunately have found that to be the case. And I think that that's, as low as a human being can get, because we're betraying the trust that was bestowed upon us, because we're both taking a leap of faith to a certain degree. And, I think that, again, wherever you have human beings, you'll have greed, and wherever you have greed, you'll have people making stupid decisions. But we will find out. We have, ways to do that. And I just want to be very upfront. So sometimes people play stupid. Oh, I didn't know. I forgot. I accidentally logged in out of habit into my old IMO. And, we don't want to hear it. We just want people that are looking to go the distance. Like I said, this is going to be my 20th year. I've been here 19 years. And I can't tell you how much I feel blessed to have come across this opportunity where you can work as little or as much as you want from wherever you might be. I'll be able to do that. If you are interested, and this is, again, just a general overview, I'm going to open it up to Q&A right now to anybody that has a question. But if you are interested in learning more, then this next process the process is simple. The next step, book a one-on-one with me so that we can go ahead and narrow it and zero in on what you're looking for. Are you looking for police? A lot of people are intimidated by police appointments, and they do very bad with them. So if you're, I don't know why, but if you're that person, just stick to teachers. I don't know why. We do a lot of presentations in the jails now, not to the prisoners, of course, but to the cops and the guards. And we have people that sometimes get to the front gate and like, I'll just wait out here. I'm like, well, that's not what you're here for. I don't know. I don't know if they have warrants or what the hell they got going on, but people just don't want to go in there. So if that's you, just don't take these appointments, is what I'm saying, to be able to do that. But you want to book it one-on-one with me, and we will narrow down everything from based on your recent experience. We want to know what you're doing right now, and your level of recent experience is based on your 1099 from last year. Because again, I know a lot of people who have been in the business for a very long time, but since the pandemic, their production took a dive, and they're just not up to speed. And that's okay. If you don't have recent experience, don't lie. But at least we know that we need to put more focus on you. We do live training every single week for free. There's nothing to pay, where we do anything from product training specifically to the teachers and to the cops. This week, we talked about the 403B rollovers, the carriers that do the rollovers, things to look out for, how commissions work with rollovers, and so on. And then once we know that you're the real deal, we will even show you how to open up, and we will open up schools in your neck of the woods to help you grow your business. Of course, part of the split system that I just described to you. We have the roster of every principal in America, and we don't work with individual principals. We work by district. And so we'll front the money to get to them. We'll front the goodies that we have to dangle in front of them to let us come in and do the staff meeting. And of course, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you as to which route you want to go. And so 2 options, just simply go to zoomwithjavier.us to schedule your Zoom session. Or if you have your phone with you, you can just scan the flow code before you right now to be able to do that. I'm going to leave this up. And because again, I want to make sure that now I have spoke with people that have agencies that have agents under them. There's a place for you as well. However, the difference is this, that we organize on a one-on-one basis and we never bring in 10 people. We never bring in 5 people. We want to make sure that we start to get this going with a few first, because we've always believed that it's better to have less people making more money than having a ton of money making a little bit of money. And that's just simply not our philosophy, and that's not going to happen. But we can still work with you. You just got to work with us as well. What I'm going to do is leave this up, and I'm going to open it up to the Q&A. So let me start with the chat. I don't know why people are a little... Okay. Yeah, the commission splits are 25%, and then when you close 3 deals, that drops. So it only goes down from there. Okay, perfect. What I want to do is... Okay, what I want to do is I want to answer any questions anybody might have. Just unmute yourself or chat. Anybody questions about anything? Now, here's what we do. If you are within the Southern California region or within driving distance, or maybe you are in Fresno, or maybe you're in San Diego, but you want to see this in action, we have staff meetings coming up that we invite you to come to as an observer without joining anything, without paying anything. Just come and watch it for yourself before you make any type of decision so that you can kind of see the power of this proprietary system for yourself. So book your session with me ASAP, because we have 8 more staff meetings in the month of May, and I will invite you to one of those. We just finished our police season. We are approved. As a matter of fact, somebody just mentioned that they are in the Fresno area. We work with Fresno and Bakersfield. The only reason we stopped the last 2 years was not just the pandemic, but all of our agents in that area disappeared. Everybody was panicking over COVID, and everybody split. And so if you go to, if we were in Bakersfield, if you go to the Bakersfield website, you will find us with the Bakersfield Police Department at the Bakersfield elementary schools when we make our donations. So they know us very well. And we can open up districts in other areas as well. I see Fresno again. Yeah, absolutely. And so, perfect. I mean, so like I said, I can definitely go ahead and do that. And here's the best part. We do everything electronically. If you don't understand the widgets platform, which is the platform we use, man, you're behind as it relates to technology and life insurance, because it can help you do that. So all I'm saying is, if you're within driving distance, book the webinar with me and tell me, I want to be an observer at your upcoming, at your next staff meeting or one of your, and I'll give you the dates. Now, here, let me back up, and if let's see, if you have your camera on, if you can let me know whether or not you can see this. You see where it says widgets marketing? Anybody see that? Widgets marketing. I don't know if you can see my browser. Thumbs up. Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, I have no clue if you're seeing it. Let me just see it. Yeah, you should be able to see it. Okay, and so what I'm doing here, this is what we use for the pipeline and opportunities. If you don't have this, I would recommend you. We'll get you up to speed on this if you come on board. So here is, this is you. This is all the people, 98 people that are waiting for me right now. 90, that's less than that. These 90, 78 on this one, plus 9 on that one. Yeah, 87, whatever. But the point that I'm making is that there's a pipeline for just the staff meetings for LAUSD. And this is where I showed you earlier. This is live now, where they're all here. Let's see, Zoom. Oh, this is the leads. Oh, this is where you find all those actual leads I just showed you from our last meeting. That's not what I wanted to show you, but here it is. And so here it is. And so from here, we just drag it. So this one, this principle applied. We contacted these 2. We have dates for all of these right here. And then this one, we just held this past Tuesday. So this one right here, we just held this past Tuesday. And so this is how we track everything. And this is how we track all our leads. This is how we're going to track what you're doing, how you're doing it. And all you do is you simply take one from here, you drag it to the next one. Or when you close the deal, either you won it or you lost it. People think it's a CRM. There's a CRM element, but if you notice over here, it's not, because I can come in here and let's just say type in Riverside. And so on the right-hand side, it'll pop up Riverside principals. All these are all the principals for every school in Riverside County. And so here I'm just going to increase this from this to 100 per page to make it easier. This is the contact info for every single principal in the entire Riverside County, which would do whether it's Fresno, whether it's Bakersfield, whether it's whatever. That's exactly how we do it as well. So yeah, so if you're from Bakersfield, we don't want you to drive to LA all the time. Maybe you want to come see it. And if you make the commitment, we'll make the commitment, and we'll go back to opening up Bakersfield or opening up Fresno or opening up Long Beach or opening up whatever it is you want to do. Any questions? Please unmute yourself. It's quicker than chatting away.
So, Mr.
Good
Javier.
morning.
Oh, I
Oh,
apologize.
go ahead.
Ladies first.
Go ahead,
Thank
please.
you so much. Hey, y'all. Good morning. This is Rochelle Townsend. Thank you. I actually went out with you a couple of weeks ago, and I love the presentation with the police station. Now, my question is once we get in, if we're accepted and the police officers or teachers are giving us referrals, how do you guys deal with that?
Thank you. That's a very good question. The way we deal with that is we call it a 30-second commercial. What we want you to do is to make more money. We're not greedy. I'm telling you right now. So if you come, okay, so I remember you came out to the, was it Colton? No, not, where did we go? It was a police station, I believe. I remember over in, was it Colton or was it?
It was Colton. Sorry, I didn't. So yes,
Colton.
at like 5
Well, if you don't mind, I've only spoke with you one time. Can you share with everybody your thoughts on the flow of the police station, on the roll call?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I actually come from Colonial and roll call. I hadn't done it in about 2 years. I came, met with you guys. They have to come into the meeting, and you were awesome. You're amazing. You built rapport, and they have to sit there and listen to the speech or what have you, 10 minutes or so. But I was really I don't want to say impressed, but I was like, oh my God, you were awesome, because once again, you built rapport, you had some relationship with the police station before, and it just wasn't all jump in and talk about the insurance, right? But once you did that and you went through the presentation, people signed that at the end of it or what have you, their captain was there. And yeah, so it's awesome. I've always liked a roll call.
Perfect. And just so you follow up on your question, anything you generate on your own from within the police station, because what we tell people is, listen, you are taking, quote, a hit or a split because of the money that got us in there. But once you're in there, you're in there. And if you want to market and sell more life insurance or an IUL, anything you generate on your own, even though we opened it up, you keep 100% of it. We don't take splits on anything you generated on your own. Only things we hand you in the form of a preset appointment.
And the split is 25.
There will be no split on that. There will be no split on anything you generate on your own. If we hand you an appointment, yes, 25% split. If you just happen to talk to the cop's partner, which is very common, cops run in packs. You got to understand that. So one sign, that's why I put so much emphasis on getting the first cop to make the appointment. There's here. As a matter of fact, the one that she went to, that she's alluded to, this is a picture of it right here. It's not this one, because we did 5 roll calls at this police station. It was this one on the lower right-hand corner. And so on the lower right-hand corner. And so what I'm saying is that once, if you see that first cop that's right in front of me, I was working on him because I knew if I can get one of these damn guys to just start booking their appointment, they all will follow and do the same thing.
So it's 75 to the agent and 25 to the organization.
To the company. Exactly. 25. Exactly. And so again, now, if this guy talks to the other cops, says, man, I signed up for it. They were pretty cool. And just so you know, the reason we have such a high success rate, because we tell them, listen, we're going to give you a gift just for sitting down with us and taking a look at where your finances stand. Just for sitting down with us for 15, 20 minutes via Zoom, we're going to give you 4 days and 3 nights in Las Vegas as a way of saying thank you for your time. You realize that some people will do this just to get the damn vacation. I mean, that's just the way it is. And that's okay. Who pays for that? We do. We pay for as many of those 4 days, 3 nights in Las Vegas trips or stays, because it covers the resort, as you need to give away. We pay for that. You won't pay for a thing. Next question, please.
This is Fernando Paez. I'm in Redondo Beach. How are you, Javier?
Well, sir, welcome.
Yeah. So is this, so I'm licensed in a lot of different states, but I'm here, in California. Is this basically just for California right now?
The way we do it is we're licensed and operating in 50 states plus Puerto Rico and Guam, but on the other side of the house, where I was telling you about the friends and family, we don't do that. For the specialized markets, we're only in California unless we have somebody somewhere that can take care of that business for that particular state. So we charge you nothing. If you were to tell me I'm licensed in Texas, now just so you know, Texas and California are the 2 open states. You know what I mean? Those are the big ones. So if you were to tell me I want to try to close business in Texas, we will go to work to see what we can come up with. And if we succeed, wonderful. If we don't, it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing.
Thanks.
All righty. Anybody else, please? All right. Well, if no one, I thought there was going to be a lot more questions than that, but that was a great question. If not, I'm just going to wrap it up by putting up the code again, the flow code in the website.
Sorry, I have another question.
Anything.
And not trying to get ahead of myself, but just for future reference, how are you regarding once you get in, do what we're here to do, which is sell insurance? How are you with the cross marketing of like real estate as being a realtor?
The way we do, that's a great question. Up until literally 3 months ago, our questionnaire, and I don't want to put it up on the screen because I haven't blurred those out, but our questionnaire, if you notice there was a solar question on the bottom, there was another question before that one, and it was simple. And it said, I'm interested in buying, selling, or refinancing a home. And we've made millions of dollars, millions in the last 12 years with refinances and other stuff that right now it's just not working. We finally just took it out because we get a lot of questionnaires, and we were averaging probably 3 to 4 every presentation. Now, the answer, go for it. If you want to ask it on your own, by all means, let them know. Let them know that you're also in real estate and business, and we don't take a split from that. We don't care.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Anybody else, please? Anything goes, guys. Anything goes. All right. Well, I'm not going to make this longer than I have to.
I'm sorry. I had one. Sorry about
Anything.
that. Can you just run through I think you had mentioned a $75 fee, and that's to get set up on the system. Is that the only fee associated, or is there anything else?
The only other fee that's associated with this, which is something you probably already pay, is your E&O insurance. You have to have E&O insurance. But other than that, it's a $75 joining fee that gives you a username and password for the platform.
Right.
And on top of that is where we manage your commissions. On top of that is where you're going to track everything. And that's just a one-time thing. That's technically it's $99, but when you join, it'll check to see if you have a life insurance license. And when it detects that you do, then it brings it down to $75.
Nice. And then I'm sorry, my last question was,
sure, anything.
You had kind of mentioned, we'd have a one-on-one. Is there anything that actually goes into the selection process in terms of, say, like skill set or availability or anything else that just may have to do with being a fit for the role? Or is it
right now, the only thing that we dropped that we did have before was that you would have to be willing to drive to the events, because so many of the teachers and cops were used to doing nothing but the in-person. Now we dropped that. So that's why we brought more, both not just out of Southern California, but out of state.
Right.
So now here's what I will tell you. You do have to be proficient with Zoom. I tell you that right now.
Makes sense.
That I can't help you there. There's a lot of people who are, I'm not a techie.
Right.
We don't want you. I mean, I don't think Zoom is that hard. You're going to have to be able to go to a link, launch your website, launch your camera, launch your PowerPoint, record it, basic stuff. We do require people to record it for different reasons, primarily confidentiality, in the sense that we tell them that this will be recorded and we send them a link. You don't do it. We do it, blah, blah, blah. Especially with the law enforcement. Cops are paranoid and they're cheap. So you got to learn how to address both things. And if you do that, you're going to do well. If you're coachable, not chokeable, but coachable, you're going to do well.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Perfect. All right. Any other question? What I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this webinar tonight at 7, because there's a lot of people that for whatever reason couldn't get on this one. So I'm going to repeat it at 7. If any of you you will get a reminder, and I apologize because there's no way to split the two lists or two dates. So you're going to say, hey, webinar starts right now. Just disregard it. Or if you know this is not for you, and that's okay too, just hit stop, reply stop, and it'll take you off the system. I don't want to bug people, but I will tell you that there's been a consolidation. I'm not going to get into company names. I'm not bad-mouthing companies, but there's been a consolidation of companies that are no longer in schools at all. And when it comes to police, you have no business. It's against union policy and city policy of every department to have anybody talk to the police officers while they're working. People ask me, how the hell do you do it? And the answer is, well, I'm retired law enforcement myself. And so relationships is the key. We're also silver sponsors with Baker to Vegas. Baker to Vegas, for those who don't know, and you're going to go through a Baker to Vegas class because you have to know this. We are official Baker to Vegas sponsors. We sponsor fundraising barbecues. We sponsor fundraising events for officers. So for us, it's more personal than a vendor.
So Javier,
Go ahead.
What we deal with is primarily police officers. Is that the main? Those
I
are the
would
main-
do it from October until March or April is a lot of law enforcement. Once April 1st happens, where the race, there's a relay race that takes place from the city of Baker, you know, that big thermometer. They literally run all the way to Las Vegas. That's the big race for every police department. They run it. And so once the race happens in April 1st, it dies off to zero. And so now we're focusing on teachers, and we're also focusing on retooling and getting new people up and running for when the late summer starts. We start throwing the appointments in your direction, and you won't hear from us. Just so you know, you will not hear from us until 6 months back in about November, when we started doing it all over again for the spring. That's what
So then we won't actually be into the process of receiving leads or talking to these people until November, even if we start the process now.
No, not at all. No. November is when we start to recruit a new wave of people. That's for other people.
I see.
We're going to start theoretically as soon as right now. We have 11 to issue right now. We have 8 more staff meetings coming, but I'm not misleading you about the cops. The cops right now is slow. We just have the race. It's kind of like after the big event, everybody just kind of catches their breath. And we don't mess with them until the second half of the summer is when we start to think, because the official fundraising campaign begins in October. And the first webinar you guys are going to go to, you're going to receive an orientation on 2 things: protocol of working with teachers and protocol of working with police departments. And you're going to get both. And
teachers and police officers. Okay.
Sure. And we're going to invite you. Like I said, once you book your webinar, I'll invite you to an upcoming one. One thing we cannot do, we cannot broadcast. People ask me all the time, can you go to a staff meeting and broadcast? I might as well just record it and show you one of the ones that we do. I'll even go ahead as far as sending you guys right now. If not, if you got to go, you got to go. But let me see if I can pull this up real quick. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show this. Any questions in the meantime? Anything else, ask away while I try to do this, please. Okay, if not, I'm going to send you one more link. And so you understand, let's see. And so here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to share I have a bunch of these recorded, but I'm going to share just one. So if you bear with me, let me just go ahead and put this on the screen, and I'm sending you the link. I'm not going to play it for you. I'm going to send you the link. And so here's what I'm going to do. All right, and so you should be able to see this right here. Let me get the link, and I'll put it into the comments so you can kind of see for yourself. And you tell me if you were a cop, and then I'll send you one for teachers. But if you were a cop, would you fill out that card? And so what you see here, can anybody tell me if you can see the screen with the YouTube video on it?
We can see it.
Okay, it just simply says roll call presentation. It's not for the general public, blah, blah, blah. It's not endorsed by the police, but here it is. This is the way it starts. That's all I'm going to show you.
Sir? Just one way to start? Yes, sir. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Javier Rodriguez, and my colleagues and I are here to talk to you about a couple of things, but first and foremost about something that's probably near and dear to your heart, which is your money, or your financial freedom. We're also here to talk about, the Baker the Biggest fundraiser we just did, which I'll mention here in just 1 second. Got about 8 minutes, so forgive me for moving at such a fast pace. A little bit about us that makes us very unique is that we're very community-based and law enforcement-based as well. We work primarily with LAPD, Sheriff's Department as well, and everyone is our in one way or what police department, Garden Grove PD. Want to congratulate everybody and thank you for your in the company as well. So there's no stockholders involved whatsoever. How to bulletproof your financial future, helping. And so anyways, that's the whole tagline that we do. How to bulletproof your financial future. We end with the yellow form that you saw. That one guy in the white shirt that you can see, he's probably one of our most successful agents. When the moment I went up there to speak, when they said, "You're up," he immediately starts to pass out the appointment card. This is choreographed. We leave nothing to chance. Nothing is you might seem like it's just random stuff. It's all choreographed. We're not going to work with anybody that's not going to follow the script, because we've been doing this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and it works. So I'm going to put this in here real quick in the chat, so you can, if you want to take a look at it in its entirety, just take a look at it. That is this. Oh shoot, it didn't go to everybody. Let me put it to everyone here. Okay, there you go. And so there you go. Take a look at it. That's one of the several, and I do mean a ton, that we have at City Hall. I mean, we just literally, let me just see, we just literally do this everywhere. All right, last question before we wrap it up. I know I went long and I apologize. Anybody? All right, if not, what I want to do is I'm going to bring this down, and I just want to close by asking you to please make sure that you go ahead and schedule your follow-up appointment, because we are looking for a select group of people that, like I said earlier, we would rather have less people making more money than watering down these appointments. And then you never get to being really, really good at it, because you always get a few here and a few there. We want to keep people busy as they want to. And then when we meet one-on-one, you're going to tell me, look, I'm happy with Colonial. I just want to supplement my income with an extra $3,000 a month. Perfect. You could do that with two. All you need are 2 appointments that you close a month. Others are looking to transition or move or have, again, a steady stream of qualified preset appointments. Or I guarantee you there's some of you say, hey, I want to go all in. I want to come work with you guys exclusively, but only if you're going to help me build up Fresno or Bakersfield or Redondo Beach, or I want to learn the secret. What the secret in this industry is getting the appointments, not in getting licensed and getting appointed. It's the appointments with the preset qualified lucrative markets that we work. All right, thank you.
Javier, I've got
Go ahead.
one quick question. Are the products payroll deduction or ACH?
Perfect. When it comes to the teachers, 403Bs have to be obviously through their paychecks, but when it comes to the police departments, we don't have a pay slot, and it's ACH for all of the products we do with law enforcement. With teachers, if it's an IUL or life product, it has to be ACH because it's a non-qualified product. But if it's their 403B type of 401k, if you would, for corporate America, then we do that through the payroll, and we will train you on how to work with the TPAs or third-party administrators to get the pay slot, do the paperwork. And remember, at the end of the day, an IUL should be, if you know what you're doing, and if you don't know what you're doing all the way, it's okay. As long as you've got the desire and you're loyal. I can't stand people that are not loyal. If you're going to be loyal, we're going to get you to where an actual IUL that does close. Not everything closes because you can't get a hold of them. Cops are notorious for their working overtime during court. But if you close, let's just say one IUL, it should take you no more than 2 hours. If it's taking more than, remember, the first appointment I just told you should be no more than 25 minutes. The second appointment should, how long does it take you to input an application online? Hopefully 30 minutes. And then all the policies we do, you have the option of e-delivery, where they get delivered now in the PDF. Whereas before we got the big old thick booklet and FedExed it and had to walk in and sign it. It's all done electronically now. So if you are slow, 2 hours, that's not too bad. I mean, and do two of those a month. That's 4 hours. If you want to go all out, maybe you want to throw 2 hours a week at it, 8 hours a month. What the hell are you doing with the rest of your time? Well, maybe growing your business in other areas. And we're okay with that. Just please don't take our stuff anywhere. That's all I ask for. I'm very honest with you. I don't waste people's time. I don't waste my time. I'm as loyal as they get. I come from the Marine Corps. I'm a retired cop. I mean, to me, there was a time where we could buy a house with just a handshake. And nowadays we got to go out there and notarize this and blood sample that and DNA this. I mean, listen, I'm the kind of guy that when you say you can trust me, I'll trust you with everything there is to trust you with, but just don't let me down. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, let's make some money together. Go ahead.
Javier, how successful are you getting the payroll slots? Because a lot of schools have thousands of payroll slots for their annuity programs already. So I'm just kind of curious what the success rate is getting a new payroll slot.
Every single carrier that we work with, as far as schools are concerned, already have a payroll slot for it. Every single one.
Okay, cool. That's good. That's all I need to know, because payroll slots.
We don't deal anything with opening the slots. We just simply plug into them. We don't deal with that at all.
Okay, cool.
All right. Perfect. All right, guys.
Hey, Javier.
Go ahead, please. Anything.
Hey, Troy Richard, just a quick question. Are there any residuals, just out of curiosity?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Now, here's what we do that's a little different, okay? There's only one exception to what I'm going to share with you, and that is if you happen to get terminated for a cause. I've only seen this happen in 19 years 2 times, and both times were fraud to the client. You know, there are shady people out there. You do realize that, right? So if you do something wrong to a client and you try to steal or whatever, you should get, terminated. But other than that, if you saw this, like for instance, we will vest you from day one, fully vested from day one. And so depending on the product, some of them have a 3% residual, some of them, and that's for as long as the business stays on the books. I just randomly picked May 1st or May, whatever. I can't see it, but randomly. I mean, I could show you. The ones that I get paid that are the oldest for me is from 2007, personally. And so you can see here, writing date. That's 2013, 2017, 21, 12, 19, 17. I mean, mine's a 2007. And that's how I get 2,035 lines of commissions for, it's technically 2 pay periods. And by the way, we pay you, the way it works is we advance you upon issue, we pay you upon submission and upon issue. But because now most IULs are approved, submitted, and issued in the same day, I mean, it's just incredible. Then we advance you 75% commission, and the last 25% you get in the last quarter of the policy year. But you are vested. So if you walk away tomorrow and say, you know what, it's not what I thought or it was, but I got busy with something else, well, we will keep paying you, even if you give up your life insurance license, because you don't need a life insurance license for residuals. You just need a life insurance license to initially submit it. Does that make sense? That's the difference with what we do. We will vest you from day one. And as you can see here, there's stuff, this is just random. I was trying to impress you. I would show you my oldest from 2007, 2008, from 2009, from 10 I mean, pretty cool to know you can put in the work and keep the money for that long as well. All right, anybody else? If not, thank you. I apologize for going long, but I'd rather give you too much info than not enough, because right now, the only question you need to answer is, do I want to know more? And if you do want to know more, fill out the actual form that I just put on the screen, whatever, zoomwithjavier.us, and I'll be meeting with you one-on-one. And if you don't want to know more, I thank you for your time. I wish you nothing but success and income in this industry, because it's been an industry that I can't begin to tell you how good it's been to me and my family, and it's paid us millions over the last little over 2 decades. And I wish that other people enjoy that type of success, but I know how hard it is. And by the way, it's getting harder because of automation, because of technology. A lot of companies are not going in person anymore because they have to pay salaries. We will front the money on all that stuff. That's the cool part about it. You don't know how to open up electronically in Bakersfield, Fresno, Redondo Beach? We'll try it on your behalf. And if it works, we'll split it. And if it doesn't work, we eat it.
So, Mr. Javier, also you said that there are several carriers you work with. Are you going to just on the one-on-one calls, you'll go over exactly how many carriers you are?
Sure.
We're pointing to some other carriers.
But I'll show it again. And so this here, those are some of those. We have more. We just added 3 more. And part of the reason that we added 3 more is because there are some people that are really tightly associated with American Equity. I don't know, whatever. And so we want to give you other options. That's all I'm saying. So you do have to eventually, they'll get appointed at least with one
of them
through us. So I just spoke to 2 people last week. They were both with National Life Group, but they haven't produced anything in the 2 years. So that's why we can just transfer. You're not missing anything. I mean, what's the point? And so at least here you have a better chance. But when we meet one-on-one, remind me and let me know if you want to come to one of our live events and see it for yourself. And once you see it for yourself, like this young lady did, you'll be like, damn, this is the real deal.
Thank you.
Man, that's exactly what we want to do with you as well. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Once again, have a great week, and hopefully we meet again. If not, I wish you nothing but success, income, health, and wealth for you and your family. So until next time, have a great day. Thank you.